I think it really just comes down to being able to work hard to target those that you might not expect are willing to be sold. Ended
Right.
up having a lot of inspection items that were unchecked, and I spoke with Annette. I spoke with you guys as to how to remedy that in a beneficial way for my client.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so Luis, again, thank you for being here with me today. 11 months ago, I spoke with Luis. It was around November, and he was a new agent, energetic, but he was very thoughtful about the decision to join a broker. So thankfully, he decided to go with Avanti Way, and I have Luis with me today, and we're gonna explore a little bit about what it was his pathway in this industry. Luis, I really want to thank you for being here with me. As I said, the whole team here in Avanti Way, we're very grateful to have you as part of our team in Tampa.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Luis, I mean, can you share your journey into real estate and what motivated you into becoming a realtor?
Absolutely. I have a little bit of background in real estate, just given that my mother used to be a real
Yep.
estate agent. And
Mhm.
so I never expected to become a real estate agent, but over the past few years, I've grown more of an affinity towards it as I've explored it online. And I
Right.
love real estate investing, everything about the real estate market. So I figured what better way to learn that than to become a real estate agent.
Yeah, it's not like when they ask us what do you want to be when you grow up, I want to be a realtor, right? Is that's not happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you manage to succeed? Seeing that Tampa is a very competitive market, and you have closed 9 transactions in your first year. How do you manage to do that, Luis?
Well, I think it really just comes down to being able to work hard to target those that you might not expect are willing to be sold,
Yeah,
and to be persistent, to be consistent, and so to set goals and put in the time and effort and work to achieve them. I don't think it
right.
would be possible without me, starting out and continuing to put, 14, 16-hour days to just
Right.
grind and do what I need to do to, you know, manage school as well as, having a full-time job practically. And just
Yeah.
consistency and also targeting people that are around you first. I think that circle of influence is super important to start off with. Um, there are plenty of people that already support you, already want to see you exceed, and
Mhm.
chances are they're going to be looking for a house sometime soon.
Right. And don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you for any secrets that you may have in your strategy. But
Right.
can you share an example of how Avanti Way is training, coaching in Tampa? How did they contribute towards your quick success as a new agent, Luis?
I'd say the initial onboarding and training sessions with my broker Annette
Yeah.
were very beneficial. She explained the contract to me perfectly. She put me in contact with the right people, our
Right.
title partners and our lenders, so that I can you know, learn things as I go. But also, I think that it was really just something that anyone can learn as they go. Because if you have a supportive broker or a supportive leader like Annette,
Right.
then when you come across something you haven't seen before,
Yep.
she's going to be one call away. She or he is going to be one call away to answer any of your questions and continue to support you throughout whatever transaction. So I think that close connection with Annette and
Hmm.
with the rest of my agents as well as Avanti University. I watched a ton of videos on there, taking notes, putting in the time and effort to to learn from the resources that were provided for me, and they were very useful.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I mean, and when we have a transaction, we get thrown questions at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the transaction. So that's for sure. And can you share any challenging transaction or any challenging experience and how you overcame that experience?
A challenging experience.
Yeah,
Well, I'd say my first transaction was quite challenging because it taught me about the inspection period. And so I had no clue anything about an inspection or an inspection period. And that house ended
right.
up having a lot of inspection items that were unchecked. And I spoke with Annette. I spoke with you guys as to, how to remedy that in a beneficial way for my client. But most importantly, I think just going through that kind of inspection taught me to be more aware of my surroundings. Oh, I'm paying attention that, is the ceiling drooping? Is the floor drooping? Is the plumbing looking correct? Is there outdated electrical? So now when I go to a listing appointment or when I, view a house for my buyer clients, I'm
Right.
already paying attention to all these things. And it was very beneficial to just kind of go into it, experience it, get help when I need it, and then now I know to move forward. So that was my first transaction, and it wasn't horrible, but it taught me how to keep my eyes open.
Keep your eyes open, right? I mean, you probably develop a new muscle at this point, right?
Yes.
And can you tell me, I mean, at this point, you have closed 9 transactions in your first year, Luis. You've been exposed to AVEX, our system. How would you say that our system and support systems have helped you manage your transactions?
Yeah, the AVEX system was a very big part in my success. Specifically, the one aspect of your support always available just for a call or a WhatsApp message or a text message whenever, something maybe I had overlooked in my earlier days or, something that I might have overlooked even now as I'm a little bit more familiar with the contract, or, if there's anything wrong with the system at some time or troubleshooting this or that. Support was very, very available for me, but also just the system itself and the way that it displays the information. Uh,
Right,
Everything is at my fingertips. The transactions are easy to navigate, easy to upload. All my documents are uploaded in the same place, very easy to access, and it continues to improve for the 11 months that I've been here so far. It continues to get better and better in terms of being able to access what I need to access and support me in my transactions.
yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Luis. Um, at the beginning, probably when you got your license, you were approached by many brokerages offering you 80%, 90% commission split, 100% commission split, and probably they were even willing to pay you to join the brokerages, right? So you started with Avanti Way at 75%, but now you are at 90% because you have produced almost $3 million in volume, right?
Correct.
So how at the beginning when you were kind of, when you look at all your options in terms of brokerages offering you opportunities, even with Avanti Way offering you 75%, why did you choose Avanti Way?
That's a great question. In terms of choosing Avanti Way, I felt immediately a different vibe than I had felt from the other brokerages. I interviewed with everyone, the big names at Keller Williams at
Yep.
different locations. I interviewed with Berkshire Hathaway, with some other ones in West Shore and such, and each had, a different personality, but almost immediately I found things that I didn't like from each brokerage. So, one
Right.
of wouldn't get back to me. And I thought, okay, well, do you really want my business if you're not going to get back to me? The other one was kind of sat me down for an in-person meeting, was nonchalant, uh, not professional, using inappropriate language. And I thought, okay, are these people that are going to support me? Are they going to, care about me? Are they going to align with my values? I went to another brokerage, and by this time, this was one of my later brokerages. By this time, I kind of knew the questions to ask. And they said, yeah, we're going to start you off at 70%. And I said, okay, cool. But, and they said, okay, you ready to sign? And I said, wait a minute. Are there any other fees? Are there any other, hidden percentages that you're taking out that you're not telling me up front? And they said, oh yeah, by the way, there's another 6% as a franchise fee. And I was like, this is something that should be told up front. This is something that should be honestly spoken about. And I felt that they weren't honest about that. And it wasn't necessarily that they were paying less commission. It was that I had to dig it out of them. I didn't think that they were honest. So all those other brokerages, I didn't see, the qualities that I wanted in a brokerage. But when I interviewed for Avanti Way, I felt at home. I am primarily of Hispanic descent. So my mom is Cuban, my dad is Puerto Rican. And the fact that I was talking to Hispanic people, that was definitely a big plus. I felt at home. I felt comfortable. It wasn't the only thing. I felt, I know Tampa has a lot of Hispanic citizens. I know Miami does as well, but also just the honesty up front, the cordiality, the willingness to answer my questions happily, and to support me in that way. They were all green flags on that. And then also just, when I started money was tight, and
Right.
you brought up the opportunity to become a referral partner first, get access to the university, start slowly, and then once I paid for the MLS and all that stuff, then I could join as a full partner and get all of the benefits. And I thought, this is a brokerage that's accommodating. They're willing to earn my business, and they're respectful, they're friendly. So those are the main reasons why I chose Avanti.
Amazing, amazing, amazing to hear that, Luis. So last quarter, 2023, it's almost over, right? What are your goals for next year, Luis?
Well, my goals for next year are to continue on an upward trajectory. I mean, I've had an amazing year. I've been very fortunate to come across a lot of transactions and to learn um, more. I love learning. I love increasing my knowledge and therefore my value. So, 2024, I don't like to talk, you know, I'm a person, and I think, more people should be like this, but I'm a person that doesn't like to set monetary goals. I like to set broader goals
Right,
because in my opinion, and I rarely discuss this, but in my opinion, when you set a goal, okay, I want to learn more about the commercial space, or I want to learn more about the investor space, or I want to learn more about how to sell, how to close a deal. When you set those kinds of goals, then the money follows because you're actively looking how to increase your value. And with that value comes the money. You're going to get more opportunities. You're going to know how to target customers better. You're going to know how to close better. And so I want to continue learning more. I want to continue, trying out new things,
hmm,
spending more money to get more leads and such, and practicing, you know, how to close, learning about different spaces, investment, commercial, rentals, and such like that, and hopefully close even more transactions because of that.
right, right. That's amazing, Luis. And many new agents, they face a steep learning curve. What advice would you give to to a new real estate agent who is starting their career, right? Especially in a competitive market, right? Like in Tampa, Naples, Miami. What advice would you give them based on your experience with Avanti Way?
The advice that I'd give is um, surround yourself with people that have done it before, which is easy when you're at Avanti because you're surrounded by a very close group of people that are willing to help. very close community. But also just you have to learn by doing. You have to, training only goes so far. You have to get out there and put in the extra time and work. So, for example, going to a new construction site and viewing, what does the new construction market look out here? And then
Yeah.
coming across a TV playing and showing the steps to construction and sitting down on the couch in a new construction home and saying, okay, this is how framing looks like. This is what insulation looks like. This is what electrical plumbing looks like. Getting that in your brain so that eventually when you come into an inspection, you're like, oh, I've seen this before, kind of. And so just being open, being observant, and just getting out there and learning as much as you can, asking questions, and just investing the time up front, it will pay off. And you're not going to know everything, your first few transactions, but that's okay. You'll learn as you go. You have to emanate a spirit of confidence, of honesty, and then rely heavily on those mentors that are provided to you, and you'll do fine.
Amazing. Amazing, Luis. Again, thank you so much, Luis, for sharing all of your thoughts and experiences with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Luis Kortright. 1 year, almost 1 year with Avanti Way, 9 transactions and counting. 9 transactions and counting. I know that you have
Yes,
listings sitting there as well,
I
right?
do. 3
Yeah.
and then 2 that are under contract.
Wow. So you are ready to wrap up 2023 with maybe 12, 13 transactions, right?
Yes.
First year. Amazing, Luis. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing all your experiences. And everybody who's watching this testimonial from Luis Kortright. Luis, any way they can contact you?
Absolutely. I'm very public on my social medias. I'm on Facebook at Luis Kortright Realtor, Instagram at Luis Kortright Realtor. You'll find my website, my phone number, all that stuff. I love sharing what I know to other agents. If you want to just send me a message here or there, or give me a call or text, I would love to spend time to share what I know.
Really appreciate that, Luis.